Developing now. Expert testimony you're hearing from an Illinois doctor in a high-profile trial watched around the world. Today, that man, Dr. Jonathan Rich, taking the stand in the murder trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. A witness called by the state, Dr. Jonathan Rich, said George Floyd's death was preventable. Legal analysts say it could have an impact on the trial of Derek Chauvin. WAD's Chris Carter with me tonight with more on the testimony of the U of I grad and how experts say it could impact this trial. Chris?
Well, Sean, a local criminal defense attorney said the testimony definitely made the defendant look bad. The lawyer that I spoke to wouldn't say he believed it sealed the case or not, but he did say it hurt the defense, and if he was representing Derek Chauvin, he'd be nervous. An expert on the stand, Dr. Jonathan Rich.
I'm here as an expert cardiology to provide my opinion as to how Mr. George Floyd died.
A graduate of the University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana, Dr. Rich is now a cardiology specialist at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Chicago. He testified on Monday that the actions of now fired Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd.
I can't breathe, man. Please.
George Floyd died from a cardiopulmonary arrest. It was caused by low oxygen levels, and those low oxygen levels were induced by the prone restraint and positional asphyxiation that he was subjected to.
It was certainly damning evidence.
It was testimony Decatur criminal defense attorney Andrew Wessler says calls into question the defense's argument drugs and underlying heart conditions killed Floyd.
An expert like Dr. Rich and I would agree, he has really done a great job in throwing wrenches into all of those defense theories that they've been trying to get out through these other witnesses.
Wessler, an attorney for 10 years, says testimony of people like Dr. Rich is critical to the prosecution's case.
The lawyers aren't witnesses, okay? They can't explain these things to the jury. They're not allowed to do that. They have to get it through a witness.
On cross-examination, the expertise of Dr. Rich was called into question by Chauvin's defense team, something Wessler says could have been a mistake.
The combination, the drugs, the high blood pressure, take the paraganglioma out of it, right? The increase in adrenaline from a struggle with officers. All of those things combined together, even in the absence of prone restraint, could have resulted in death. Yes or no, sir?
Upon my review of the evidence and the facts of the case, I found no evidence to support that.
Fair enough.
They were trying to get Dr. Rich to help them with their theory, but they tried to out-expert the expert. That's the worst thing you can do.
And while Wessler says the prosecution has laid out a solid case, the trial is not over until the jury rules.
There's two sides of the story. This is all still the state's case.
And Dr. Rich testified today he believed Floyd would still be alive today if the officers had provided first aid. Live in the studio, Chris Carter, WAND News.